Welcome to Handmade Happenings. I'm Melissa. Today I have a guest. She's been on here before, but this is Holly in case you haven't met her. And this was her idea, so she's going to explain it.
Yes. So I was at Target a couple of weeks ago and saw this macaron baking kit, and I thought to myself, Marissa should test this out because she's the only person I know who knows how to make macarons from scratch. So we can get a good idea of whether this works or not.
Yeah, and so what we're going to do is we're going to follow the directions on the box, and I'll probably just read them off or give a summary of it and then give my opinion of it compared to how I make macarons when I do it. And in case anybody's wondering, no, there will never be a video about how to do macarons because it's not my recipe. I actually learned it from a class on Craftsy, so don't expect that, but I will link the class in the description if you're interested, and no, this is not sponsored. Okay, so I guess we should open this. It's supposed to have like 3 packets in here because you need 2 different ones for the cookies and 1 for the filling.
Well.
We're just going to destroy the box. Well, seriously.
Maybe we should have used those scissors.
Yeah, they're for the plastic. Those are really small mixes.
They are.
I'm used to cookie mixes and brownie mixes where it's like the whole box. These are very small. Okay, so we're actually starting with step 2 because step 1 and step 2 can be done at the same time. However, step 1 requires the mixer, and once that's running, there will be no talking.
Makes sense.
So step 2 is to sift mix 2 to remove any lumps. So you get to do that.
Oh joy.
So I actually don't sift my dry ingredients when I make macarons because the class that I took, so the mix is powdered sugar and almond flour, and this may have something else in it, but that's usually what it is. And the class that I took had you basically put half the powdered sugar into a food processor, followed by all of your almond flour and then the other half of the powdered sugar, and then you just use the food processor to like pulse it a couple times to get out all of the lumps. A lot easier than that, but anyway.
And I was like, well, we're gonna be here for a while.
Yeah, well, don't worry, because step 1 is to take macaron mix number 1 and put it into the mixer and whisk it or beat it for like 10 to 15 minutes to come to what's it called? Bring it to a peak. So
stiff peaks, yes.
Yes, stiff peaks. I have never filmed or timed how long it takes for my egg whites to whip up when I do it normally.
I feel like it's 10 minutes normally, but I don't know.
I don't know. Now, granted, here's the thing. First thing I do when I make macarons is mix up, you have the scissors, is separate the egg whites and get them whipping, and while they do it, I measure out everything else that's needed, prepare my cookie sheets, and sift my flour, use it in the food processor. So I guess it is a good amount of time, but I'm usually working while it's going.
Right. I have weak arms. They're already tired.
It's a 1/4 cup of water, I assume, because it's probably dried
whites.
Yeah, egg whites. So we're going to turn this on and I'll set a timer. Alright, so the timer just went off. Let's see. Okay, I have it unhooked. And that is what it looks like. And I can tell you now, that is not stiff peaks. And I did it for 12 minutes. It said 10 to 15. Oh, no, it said 10 to 12. Or until stiff peaks form.
Interesting.
I think we need to go a little longer because that's not even remotely stiff peaks. Okay, so we have gotten it to a much stiffer peak here. And step number 3 is just to put that in here and mix it together with a spatula. So I'm going to clean this off a little. This is a lot less, those instructions are a lot less detailed than the regular recipe that I do, which gives like very specific how you want to mix it in, and then there's like another step that you do to to take out enough of the air so that the batter isn't too stiff, but also like not too loose, because you want a certain consistency with macaron batter. So if it's too stiff, you're going to have like points on your shells, and if it's too loose, then it's just going to spread all over the cookie sheet. It definitely smells raspberry, so they must have something in the actual cookie mix. And it's now pink, so
there you go.
And it seems like the consistency is close enough. So.
The confidence. Oh yeah.
We are using a piping bag because I refuse to do the thing where you put it in a gallon Ziploc bag and do it like the box suggests. Mainly because it's never worked for me. And I have this, so might as well use them. This smells like something, but I'm not sure what. It's supposed to be raspberry.
It reminds me of like, this is going to be a very like specific memory, but like these like I think strawberry cheesecake ice cream bars that I remember really loving when I went to summer camp one year, and that's what it smells like to me.
You could be right. Yeah, like those strawberry. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. I don't know. It smells kind of fake to me.
Well, I mean, it's a box mix. I'm not expecting the most real of ingredients in there.
No. Did you want to try and scoop them out? Or?
It's up to you.
We can try. This mix actually only makes 12.
Yeah.
Which does not seem like a lot.
No.
For the amount.
That's what I was thinking when I was looking at the batter down there. I was like, that doesn't look like a lot. But then again, it only makes 12. Gotta mix that up a little bit. Okay. It's probably good enough.
Actually has a little enough in it that I don't think I need to tie off the top. Okay, so the box mix obviously calls for parchment paper, but I have silicone mats, so I might as well use them. And pretty much you're just squeezing circles. Obviously we should get approximately 24 if we do the right size.
We'll see.
Usually I use like a template, which is what I've seen most things recommend, but Box Mix does not recommend that, so. Yeah, I feel like this is one of those things where like I can figure it out because I already know how to do it, but I feel like the instructions to me, are lacking details.
Yeah.
But what do you expect from the Box Mix?
A lack of details. But you know, when push comes to shove, you go to YouTube, see if anybody else has done it. Here we are. The concentration to which both of us are looking at this is not required. One of us, yes, the other not.
I've lost count, but I'm just going to keep going.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, you have 6 rows of 4.
And a random row of 5.
There you go.
This happens no matter what I do with making macarons, so it's like I get to the end of the tray and it's like how many can I squeeze on in every corner. Yeah, I definitely make my batter looser because I've never had this much trouble getting the last of it out. There we go.
And we may or may not have an even number.
Yeah, well, if you have an uneven number, that's when you just eat one of the shells.
There you go.
Alright, next step is to bang this on the counter. That is something that's actually done in the others. Although mine also has you like knock it on the bottom too, like with your hand.
Oh,
It's
okay.
supposed to knock out the air bubbles so that you don't have like big holes in your macarons.
Right.
And then now it's supposed to sit for like 30 minutes to form like a light skin, and that is also accurate to other recipes. In fact, my recipe actually calls for less time, but then it's one of those, it depends on your house and humidity, and it might take longer. Mine always takes longer, and 30 minutes is probably about what it takes.
Okay.
Alright, so time is up, and we're just going to test. Basically, yep, you just have to be able to tap it and not have any batter on your finger. So this is going to go in the oven to bake. It's 300 degrees for like 15 minutes, I think. Yes. And we probably won't be back until it's been baked and cooled and we're ready to fill it, because there's really nothing to do in between. The cookies have cooled and are out of the oven. I think they seem a little soft, but anyway, and they are sticking, but then again, mine always about 50-50 on that. So I'm going to work on mixing up the filling, which is this packet, and half a cup of cream mixed for like a very specific number of minutes, apparently, according to the box, which I'm probably going to ignore. And while I do it, do you want to pull these off and pair them up so that they have like a somewhat similarly sized shell? Yeah,
Seems like a good idea.
Yes, that would be good. Oh, this is turning pink too.
Yay.
Okay, I think that's smooth.
Yep.
I'm just gonna put this in a piping bag, although it's really runny.
It is. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about that.
But I think it's stiff enough probably to go in the...
I mean, we could always just put it on a cookie, see what happens.
True. Because it's one of those, it's either use a piping bag or spin.
Ah.
But I'm a little worried with how soft these are about trying to spin it onto the spin.
Right.
So, plus I already have the piping bag out.
Right. Do you have them further apart than that, or are they
Oh.
the way they are?
They're fine the way they are. And I guess if you want to cap them while I... It would probably be easier if we had started at the other end. No, no.
Also, if I'm on that side and you're on that side.
There's a lot more filling than there is macarons. Although part of it is probably because I have a tendency to be like, I'm so used to having to try and stretch it at the
Right.
end that I don't want to end up like that. So
Well, I think they're amply filled.
I actually, and I didn't tell Holly this, we did make macarons yesterday from scratch to compare.
Wow. Ooh.
So these are mine. They're a lighter color, so they have raspberry coat in it.
Okay. That's good. But like, how can you go wrong? In all honesty, how can you go wrong?
So then, let's see, might as well compare these two. So these definitely came out smoother. I think the instructions on the box just didn't give enough allowance for like getting it thin enough. But it is a hard consistency to get because you don't want it too stiff and you don't want it too runny, which is difficult.
You're not gonna like this. It's chewy.
Yeah, no. Now, they may be better once they've chilled because this filling will stiffen up. But overall, no.
No, that's a yikes from me. That's not disappointing. In all honesty.
All right, well, now you all have our very honest opinion. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for coming along.
Thank you.
And I hope you all will join me next week for another handmade happening. By the way, what is the chances that I can convince you to at least start filming another video while you're here?
100%.